Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yunta Pravishya Mamavacha Imam Prasupta Sanjeevayati Shakti Narasvatamna Anyam Sacha Charana Shravanattukadi Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubyam Tasmadakam Mikita Viklava Ishvarasya Sarvatmanamai Grinami Yatamanisham Nicho Jaya Gunabasarga Anupravishtaha Uyeta Gena Gitman Anuvarnitena. Hare Krishna. Okay, we are reading from second canto, second chapter, 37th verse. Okay, beautiful verse. Vantiye Bhagavatatmanasyatam Gatamrutam Shravanaputeshu Samrutam Unantite Vishayavudusitashayam Vrajanti Tacharna Sarorahantikam Vantiye Bhagavatatmanasyatam Gatamrutam Shravanaputeshu Samrutam Gunantite Vishayavidushitashayam Vajanti Tacharna Sarorantikam. Pipanti, who drink, ye, those, Bhagavataha, of the personality of God, Atmana, the most dear, Satam, of devotees, Katamrutam, the nectar of the messages, Shavana Puteshu, within the earwaves, Samrutam, fully filled, Gunanti, purified, He, there, Vishaya, material enjoyment, Vidushashayam, polluted aim of life, Vajanti, do go back, Tat, that Lord, Charana, feet, Sarorantikam, near the roots. Translation and purport by His Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who drink through oral reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, personality of Godhead. Purport, please hear. The sufferings of the human society are due to polluted aim of life, namely lording over material resources. The more human society engage in the exploitation of undeveloped material resources for sense gratification, the more it will be entrapped by the illusory material energy of the Lord, and thus the distress of the world intensified instead of diminished. Human necessities are fully supplied by the Lord, the shape of food grains, milk, fruit, wood, stone, sugar, like jewels, silk, jewels, cotton, salt, water, and vegetables. In sufficient quantity feed and care for the human race, for the world, as well as the living beings on each and every planet within it. The supply source is complete, and only little energy by the human being is required to get his necessities into the proper channel. Need a machine or huge steel plant for artificially creating comforts of life. Life is never made comfortable by artificial needs, but by plain living and high thinking. The highest perfectional state thinking of our human society is suggested here by Shukadeva Goswami, namely sufficiently hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. For men in this age of Kali, when they allow the perfect vision of life, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is a torchlight by which to see the real path. Sri Shukadeva Goswami has commented on the Katamtam mentioned in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to the nectarian message of the personality of God by sufficient hearing of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Polluted aim of namely Lord will subside. The people in general in all parts of the world will be able to live a peaceful life of knowledge and wisdom. It is for a pure devotee of the Lord, any topics in relation is his name, fame, quality, and praise, etc., are all pleasing. And because the topics have been approved by the great devotees like Narada, Hanuman, Ananda Maharaja, and the inhabitants of Vrindavan, certainly such messages are transcendental and pleasing to the heart and soul. And with the constant hearing of the message of the Bhagavad Gita and later Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one is assured herein by Shukadeva to reach the personality of Godhead and render transcendental love service. The spiritual planet named Golak Vrindavana, which resembles a huge lotus. Thus, the process of Bhakti are directly accepted as suggested by this verse. Suggested in this verse, sufficient hearing. By sufficient hearing of the transcendental message of the Lord, material contamination is directly eliminated without one attempting to contemplate on the impersonal without conception of the Lord. By practicing Bhakti Yoga, the performer is not purified from the material contamination. He must be a pseudo devotee. For such an impostor, there is no remedy for being freed. Thus, in the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the second canto, second chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam entitled Lord in the Heart. State of Prabhupada transcendental. So, Let us understand the background of this verse. We'll go into this. So here, the background is very important. That see, Parikshit Maharaj, you know that the first canto is basically dealing with the Mahabharata after the Mahabharata war, Bhishma's passing away, Kunti Maharani praying to Krishna, and the protection of Vishnu Lata, which is Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, and then liberation of Dhritarashtra, all this, and then Krishna is departing from this material world. And then the 16th chapter talks about Parikshit Maharaj. The 16th chapter talks about Parikshit Maharaj being cursed by and that is a very important point. We have to understand that he was cursed. And because when he was cursed, he understood that he didn't react, he didn't retaliate. So what he did is simply accepted as Krishna's mercy, you know. Nirveda Mulo Tejasa Parupo, 119:14, it says. So he took this as a mercy of Krishna and he sat on the bank of the Ganges. He left everything, he renounced everything, and he detached everything from his material association and completely absorbed and come to the temple of Ganges and was seeking for spiritual enlightenment. And the time Sukadeva Goswami comes, and that's what the first canto of the Bhagavatam ends. Second canto, Sukadeva Goswami, in the 19th chapter, Parikshit Maharaj says, what a dying man should hear, glorify, remember at the time of death. So that's about the wonderful question. The moment he heard the question, Sukadeva Goswami very, Varyan, he says, Varyane Krishna. These type of questions are excellent, super. He became encouraged, he became enthused. Sukadeva Goswami was intoxicated by the excellent question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. This is how we should ask questions, you know, how we can improve our quality of the devotion. So that was the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. He wants to know what a dying man should do. This is the question we should ask because everybody is going to die. But nobody wants to ask this question. You ask any politician, Aam Aadmi Party, this fellow, Amrit Gajal, do you want to die? No, he said he will not die. He doesn't want to. So these people are not interested. 90% of the people, they want to live in this material world. And that's why Prabhupada writes in this. That's very important. So, Varyane the Prashana. So then immediately he started answering very nicely. And then he says in 2.1.5, very important verses. And he's going to repeat it again. Verses repeated with minor changes in the words means very important. Because very few verses are repeated in the passage of 2.1.5. Sorry. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Srotabhya Kirtitavyascha Smatjadaichatabhayam. He says it's very important. So he says that we have to Srotabhya Kirtitavya Smatjadaichatabhayam. He says. So the first chapter is talking about first step in God realization. So he talks about the whole aspect, how we have to take Ante Narayana Smriti. So he nicely explains. I don't want to go into the details. And the essence is that this is the verse 2.1.5. We have to do devotional service. Protavya, Kirtitavya, Smartavya, Ichadavya. If you want to be fearless, then we have to do these things. We have to hear about Krishna, we have to glorify about Krishna, and we have to remember Krishna. So, hearing, chanting, and remembering. These are the main processes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So, these three processes are very important for, and that is the main purpose. Tasmat Bharata, Bhagavan Vishnu. We should not waste our time. I don't want to go into the details. So, this is what he says in the that. So this is the first step in God. And then next, he says how to realize God in the Lord in the heart. So he's going to explain very nicely in the second canto, very nicely. So he's going to explain about how the Lord is in the heart. So and then there's a beautiful verse where the description of the Lord, how the Lord is there in our heart, sitting in our heart. You know how he resembles. It's nicely given. He's just less than 8 inches in size. But he sits in our heart wonderfully. Human beings especially. He sits according to the nature of size of the living entity. He takes the shape. Suppose if it is only a worm, then to that extent he will be less than insignificant size. So he can change. He can go Mahi Mahisha. He can go bigger than a big and smaller than a big. He can be a Vamana engulfing all over the three universes, and then we can be a small. He can be a small super soul in an ant or in a worm. He can do. So it says very nicely, beautiful description of the Lord. This verse we should memorize. Listen 229. Navatram Nalinaya Tikshanam Kadam Baginjal Kapchang. How the Lord is there. Shangavasham. Lasan Maharatna Hiranmayangatam, Spuran Maharatna Kirita Kundalam, Prasannamakram. He was always, Krishna is always smiling. Nalinaya Tekshnam is spread like the petals of the lotus. Nalinaya is Iksha. His eyes are like the lotus petals. Kadamba Kinjalka. He was wearing a yellow garment. This is wonderful. Vishanga Vashisham. It's the yellow garment. Kadamba flower, saffron. And then Vishanga, yellow color ornaments. Lasat Tulasya Maharatna. Lasan Maharatna. Maharatna means big, big wells. He was wearing it. Hiranmayangadam. He was wearing in his hips. Puran Maharatna Kirita Kundala. His Kirita Kundala also with Maharatnangal. That means it were all valuable gems he was wearing it. So this is what we have to understand. So this is what is said in 229. And then in the whole chapter, there is one important verse which Brahma comes to the conclusion very nicely. 2.2.34. Bhagavan Brahma Katsena Dirganmikshya Shava Dadabhadat Pasto Ratir Atmayato Vabe. He says the whole purpose of Lord in the heart. Why we have to get features of the Lord and all. Brahma is telling this. Brahma is telling, with great attention and concentration of the mind, study the Vedas 3 times. 3 times he studied the Vedas. And after scrutinizing his studies the Vedas, he has stated the fact that attraction for the Supreme. Ratir, you have to get attraction for Krishna. And that is the only way, the perfection, highest perfection of nature. He says that, Tad Adavasat Kutasto, Anvishikshya Manishaya. Prabhupada writes very nice. Karstena means by summarization. And he has come to the conclusion. And that is it is the most important point. That's what he is telling in 2.2.34. Then 2.2.36 is very, very important. 2.2.35 talks about a very, very intricate subject matter. And I am not qualified to speak on that. It's a very tough verse. 2.2.35 is a very important verse. Philosophically, we cannot understand so easily. The purport is also very highly philosophically written. And we have to have some expert people to speak on that. Now, 2.2.36 is the conclusion. He says, again, Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan. Again, he is repeating 2 and 5, no? Tasmat Bhata Sarvatma. Now he says, Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan. Hari Sarvatra Sarvata. Sotavya Kirtidabhyascha. Smarta Yo. It's a Bhagavan Nam. Human beings, all human beings should know this. What is that? Sotavyaha. Kirtidabhyaha. Smartabhyaha. Yaha means it is not an option for doing devotion service. It is a must. Every day we have to chant. Every day we have to hear about Krishna. Every day we have to remember Krishna. This is our human beings' top instruction from Sukadeva Goswami. Because this is the main activity of the soul. If you don't do this activity, then you are not caring for the soul. When you are killer of your own soul, Bhagavatam says, Vina Pashupana. So you are like a killer of the soul because you are not taking care of the soul. Soul is the main thing, you know. Suppose you could put a bird in the cage and you just clean the cage, but you don't feed the bird will die. The same way, the soul feeding is through Srotabhyaha, Kirtitabhyaha, Smartabhyaha. We have to hear about Krishna, we have to chant about Krishna, and then remember about Krishna. These are all the things. Srotabhya, it is a must. No option, please. Every day we have to do Mangalati. Every day we have to do Bhagavatam. Every day, please come for this program. This is the main activity. This activity is for the soul, and we have to do it. If we don't do it for the soul, then we'll get another body, again suffer another body, another birth, death, old age disease. Like that, we have traveled so many billions of lifetimes. So it is so labdwa shuddhanapam. Next Janma, human life will come, we don't know. So please don't take it as an option. It is a necessity. When they say Srotabhyaha, Kirtidabhyaha, Smartabhyaha, means there is no option for us. We have to do the devotional service with intensified, and there is no option. No option. No option. Gatiranyata, Gatiranyata, Gatiranyata. Like that, no option, no option, no option. Please don't think that I can do other options. Okay, you can do. Then you have to suffer in this. You have to take another body. This body itself is doing so much trouble for you. And then another body, another body. Now I am 60, my knees are aching now. I was so energetic, I was so active. Now my knees are aching. 60 years old, yes, the body will crumble down. Very painful. Old age is very painful. Because you are all young, you don't know what is old age. Because you have not realized, I am telling you. Experienced man, I am telling you. So please, it is very important for us, especially the old age, when we are when you are not wanted by the office, when you are not wanted by your family, at the time you have to do Srotavya. If you do Srotavya, Kirtitavya, Smartavya now, the old age will be tolerant. I'm saying now because of some preaching I did in my before that. Last 20 years I did some preaching, which is not qualified good preaching, but some preaching I did. So something went into my head. So that's why I'm able to continue. Otherwise, what will happen? I will be just doing something nonsense. I will not be chanting Krishna's names at all. So, Srotavyaha. So please do this chanting. Please do this. Unless we cultivate this practice, we cannot do it at the. That's why Krishna says no, suitable practice. In the 6th chapter, 34th verse, he says suitable practice. We have to do by suitable practice. Suitable practice means we have to do this practice of devotion. Please, if you want to liberate, if you don't want to liberate, enjoy, suffer the enjoyment in this material world, you suffer. Already the one body is suffering. We have to suffer again. Already we are suffering. Most of the people are suffering. We may be enjoying now because your pious deeds are good. We are enjoying. Once the pious deeds are exhausted, then you have to suffer. I enjoyed my pious deeds in Abu Dhabi. Now in Chennai, I am suffering. So you have, once the pious deeds are exhausted, then you have to suffer. So suffering is there. It will not leave you. That is the nature of the material. Please, therefore, Srotavyaha, Kirtitavyaha, Smartavyaha, Ichchata, Nam. So if you do that here and chant, suppose if you do Smartavyaha and all this, then what is the result? That is going to be discussed today. Vandiye Bhagavatam Katamrutam Savanaputeshu Samrutam Vibantiye Vishaya Vidushadashayam Vijanti Tacharana Saror Antikam. I didn't memorize this verse. Vijanti Tacharana Saror Antikam. Beautiful verse. Please don't leave this verse. No? So here, so what will happen? Vibantiye, if you drink Bhagavata Atmanasata. Bhagavata means Bhagavatam, this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Atmanasata, which is very dear to the pure devotees. And then why it is pure? Why it is dear to the pure devotees? Because Katha Amritam. Amrita means it is nectar. It is, why it is nectar? That also it is nicely explained in the Bhagavatam. The Katha Amritam. Why it is Katha Amritam? It is nicely mentioned. The gopis, the pure devotees, Atmana Satam, pure devotees of the Lord, is nicely telling in 10th canto, 31st chapter, 9th verse. Very important verse. Everybody must remember this verse and chant. Very important verse. Please remember the verse and chant. Very beautifully sung by the gopis. Avagatamritam Krishna Tapta Jivanam. Actually, Krishna is not there in the verse, but actually one devotee in South India has added Krishna into this. And therefore, we are also adding Krishna. Adding Krishna gives value to it. Avagatamritam Krishna Tapta Jivanam Kavipirididam Krishna Kalmashapakam Shravana Mangalam Krishna Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 2.2.37 Krishna Purita Jana. This verse is spoken by the gopis. Tavakatamritam, he says. Katamritam is seen now, here also. Why it is Katamritam? They are giving the explanation. Tapta Jivanam. Because it can remove the sufferings of the living entities. Because this Amrita, because it can liberate you from this material world. Correct? Duttukari, in the Bhagavatam Mahatmya, it is mentioned Duttukari was so worse that he killed his own mother. And that fellow became a ghost. He was suffering so much. Then he went into a bamboo and he was sitting in a bamboo. And then his brother, Gokarna, thought that I have to liberate. Where is how to liberate him? Just here, Bhagavatam. So he entered into a bamboo tree as a ghost and he was sitting there. 7 days he listened to Bhagavatam with full attention. He repented for his mistake. And because he repented for his mistake, so what has happened? On the 7th day, the bamboo broke open and then he got the 400 form. He was a ghost. He has killed his mother. He has killed so many people. He has butchered so many people. But all the sins were Katamritam. It liberated him from the bed because he heard Krishna Katha of 7 days. Katamritam. So suffering, that he was suffering as a ghost. He asked Gokarna, please relieve me. I have did a lot of mistake. Now I am suffering. Please relieve me. Then immediately Gokarna arranged Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Because his own brother, he arranged cousin brothers there. So he arranged Bhagavatam for him, and by hearing Bhagavatam, and then all the people are saying, how come this ghost got liberated? Why not? They said they were Shrotabhyaha, Kirtitabhyaha, Smartabhyaha. So they were doing Swartava. He was hearing about him, he was doing Kirtan in his mind, and he was remembering Krishna. The whole 7 days, he was fully absorbed and he was fully attentive. Mataha. He was fully attentive. You are not attentive, and therefore you are not liberated. You be attentive, you will also be liberated. So that is the beauty Katamrutam. Tapta Jivanam, those who are suffering in this matter. Kavipiriditam Kalmashapakam. Kalmashapakam means it can destroy all the malicious effects of this Kali. So Kalmashap, it removes all sinful reactions of the suffering souls. We saw the Dundugari. He was completely liberated from all the sins he has committed. Kalmashapakam, all the Shapakam means all the Shapa, all the sins committed can go away. Shavana Mangalam, because it can elevate us from it can remove us from the suffering and can remove us the sinful reaction. Two things, Katamrita. Why it is Katamrita? Because first, it removes us from the suffering of the material world. Number two, it can remove the sinful reaction. Two things it do simultaneously. And therefore, because of this, Gopis said, Shavana Mangalam, Srimata Tatam, Shavana Mangalam. Krishna Srimata, Shavana Mangalam. Shavana Mangalam means, therefore, it is very auspicious to hear about Krishna. Shavana Mangalam. We are hearing Krishna now. It is because of the auspicious. We have done some auspicious activities in our previous lives. Krishna is allowing us. Otherwise, Krishna will not allow us to hear Krishna Katha. Prabhuji, don't think that it is you have come by your own will. No, Krishna has chosen you. Prabhuji Samadhis. Maharaj says Krishna has chosen you to be in this program. So don't leave this program. Don't leave the shelter of Pant Prabhu. Don't leave the shelter of Rajat Prabhu. All these devotees don't leave. If you leave, you are in miserable world. Prabhuji says, please don't leave the shelter of Krishna. Please don't leave shelter. Please don't leave. So this is Tavakatamrutam, Tapta Jivanam, Kavipiriditam, Kalmashapam, which removes all the sins. And therefore it is with Shravana Mangalam. Shravana Mangalam only, not only Shravana Mangalam. And then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. These narrations are filled with spiritual power, and it can be broadcast all over the world. And therefore, these gopis were talking in Dwapara Yuga about this Krishna's potency. Now, you see, in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada made it happen because so he translated Bhagavatam, 10 cantos he translated. His whole objective, he spent 8 hours, 2 hours every day, night, morning 1 to 3, 12 to 3, he was writing Bhagavatam. Why? Because he knows that it broadcasts all over the world and it are filled with spiritual power. That's why we have so many sannyasis. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Loknath Sar Maharaj, Devatak Sar Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Sar Maharaj, Bhakti Yogendra Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, Jayadvaita Maharaj, Kabichandra Maharaj, Vindadamana Maharaj, Bibi Govinda Maharaj, Navayogendra Maharaj, Radharaman Maharaj, Radha Govinda Maharaj, Vedavyasa Priya Maharaj. How many sannyasis are there? Because Prabhupada made so many people as devotees. So many of his disciples are still alive. Why? Because to propagate Krishna consciousness. And the spiritual power, it's increasing. Krishna consciousness is increasing. It is never decreasing. So wonderful. See? So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, that is the potency of the Katamrita. So why it is Katamrita? It is not just, first it removes all the sufferings of the living entities and removes the sinful reaction of the hearer. And then gives auspiciousness to them. And not only that auspiciousness, it has got the spiritual power to be broadcast all over the world. That is the potency of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Therefore, it is Katamrtam. So this is what we have to understand. So, Pibantiye Bhagavata Atmanashratam. That's what we say. We have to drink this. Why we have to drink? That is Pibanti. Why we have to drink? Because this, suppose you, and the drink through the what? Not by the mouth. Suppose you drink through the mouth, he says, Pibantiye Shravana Puteshu. Katamrutam Shravana Puteshu Shramrutam. Here, drink that Bhagavatam liquid through your ears. Actually drink means what? We have to drink through mouth. Suppose you drink drink some milk or something, whatever you drink. Chanamrata, whatever Prabhuji is drinking, Pant Prabhu is drinking water. So the drinking, how much water you can take? 3, 4 cups, 5 cups, 6 cups. After 8 cups, what will happen? He will say, no, enough. Even in Charnamrita also, after 4 cups, he will say, no, I cannot take more than that. Because the stomach is full. But however, this Puteshu, Samritam, you can fill unlimited because open. The sky is open. The air represents the sound sense. The sound sense, that's why if you put your ears and you can see the sound of the sky in your ears. So potent. So Shavana Samritam, fear it with hill holes. Fear here. So much of Krishna Katha can do it. Vibantiye Atmana Bhagavad Stam, and it's approved by various devotees, great devotees. So many devotees, Atmana Stam says, Shukdev Goswami, such an exalted personality, is so humble. He says, I am not telling this. This is told by Atmana Satam. This is loved by the devotees. It is very dear. Atmana means very dear. Prabhupada used the word very dear because very dear to the devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says very nicely, he says, in Chaitanya Mangala, it is very important, why Bhagavatam we should breathe Bhagavatam every day. Don't neglect Bhagavatam. Okay, it is very important. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam should never be neglected. Of course, Chaitanya Tatamata also. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says very nicely, Chaitanya Mangala, very nice, Chaitanya Manjusha. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vijeta Tanayas Taddama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachi Upasana Brajavadu Vargenaya Kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Madamitam Tatradharana Paraha. So he says, Aradhyo Bhagavan. You have to worship. Aradhya means worship. Bhagavan Vijeta Tanis. Who is the head of the Vrajabhumi? Krishna. Please worship Krishna. Whom to worship? Vrajabhumi. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vijeta Tanayas. Okay, I have to worship Krishna. How to worship him? Okay, where is he? Where is he sitting? Where is his place? Taddama Vrindavanam. His Dham is Vrindavanam. Okay? Vijeta Tanayas, Vrajabhumi, and his place is Vrindavanam. He is in Vrindavanam. Taddama Vrindavanam Ramya. Okay, you told me we have to worship Krishna. Okay, but how to worship him? That is the question. Next question. Then he says very nicely, Ramya Kaji Upasana Upasana. How they do how the gopis did the Vrajavadu. Vrajavadu means all the gopis of Vrajua. How they worship Krishna? Vargenaya. Vrajavadu Varga. And that Varga means that family of gopis, how they worship. Kalpita, that process of devotional service we are not on. What the gopis did, they Pibanti. Gopi Pibanti idi, Bhakti Pibanti idi Gopi. What is the Gopi definition? Bhakti Pibanti. They were drinking Bhakti in their ears and eyes and mouth, and therefore they are called Gopis. Bhakti Pibanti. So they were drinking Bhakti. So this is how we have to understand. So Aradhyo Bhagavan Jay Vargen Kalpita. Okay, I have to worship. That is okay. Okay, these are all okay, sir. What basis you are telling? I want shastric evidence. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam. That is the Pramanam. That is you want evidence? The evidence is there. Pramanamamalam. And okay, what is the benefit of doing all this devotional service? Prema Pumarto Mahan. We get attraction towards the Lord. We get love of God. And that is the process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to give only love of God. He says, please distribute love of God. So that is the love. Love for Krishna. Prema Pumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamitam. This is the standing instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tatra, there is no other way. Tatra Dharana Paraha. So this is the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why we have to don't leave Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is more important than our breathing. So this Bhagavatam, that's why our Maharaj used to say, take a tie Bhagavatam on your neck. If you don't study Bhagavatam, tie Bhagavatam in your neck, tie all the 12 cantos and go into the sea and die. And I don't want to see you, Maharaj says. I don't want to see you, rascal. You are not reading Bhagavatam, don't come before me, he says. Maharaj used to be very angry with us. He says, don't come before me if you don't read Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is more important than breathing. So this is very, very important. So this potency of this extreme Bhagavatam Katamritam. Katamritam means when you drink the nectar, we don't want anything else. Other material things will not harass us. And this is confirmed. Why it is Katamritam? It is nicely described by Parikshit Maharaj, it says 10.1.13. Naishadishaha Shunmam Jaktodam Abhibhadate 10.1.30. He says very nicely. I'll put that. 10.1.30. He says very nicely. Naishadikam Shunmam Jaktodam Abhibhadate Vipantam Tvanmukhamboja Chutam Harikatamrutam. He says very nicely he says, Parikshit says, because of my woe of birth and death, I've given up even drinking water. Yet because I'm drinking the nectar, the topics about Krishna through the years, which is flowing from the lotus mouth of your Lordship. And therefore, my hunger and thirst, which are extremely difficult to bear, cannot be bear. It's a beautiful verse. Because hunger and thirst always hanker us. Correct or not? It will hanker us. It will harass us. Because samsara dharma, it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam very nicely, 11 to 49. Maharaj loved this verse. Dehendriya prana monodiyam yo janma bhayatasya krishrai. Bhayatasya krishrai means this hunger and thirst and the mind will always be suffering us. Janma pya. The moment we take birth and death, bhaya, fear, shut, hunger, thirst, this will harass us. Samsara dharma. It's a dharma of the samsara, this material world, to harass us with hunger and thirst. The moment we wake up in the morning without coffee, chai, people cannot survive. They will break their heads. They don't want anything else. Just want to have a cup of coffee and or a cup of tea. Otherwise, they cannot wake up in the morning. So this is how they are. Because hunger and thirst is so powerful. Prabhuji and Mother. In Krishna consciousness only we have tolerate the hunger and thirst and we wait till chanting and then we start taking prasada. We control the tongue. We control that because samsara dharme mukyamana. Mukyamana means it will harass us. So it is very important verse. Very important. It will harass us. Bhaya, thirst, hunger, thirst will harass us. It is natural. But he says, because I'm hearing the topics, I'm drinking, my stomach is full, my ear is full, my eyes is full, my memory is full. Therefore, I don't feel hunger. And I want to tell, okay, this happened to Parikshit Maharaj. How it happens to us? How we can tolerate hunger and thirst? Prabhu, you are telling something which is not possible. I will tell you, it is possible. I experienced personally with my Guru Maharaj, not on me, on me alone. My Maharaj initiated us on 30th August 2002. And then next day was Janmashtami. Maharaj said in the morning, let us have Mangalarti. He discussed Bhagavatam for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then 7 o'clock he said, today is Krishna's appearance day. Let us recite the whole Bhagavatam. So he started at 6:37 in the morning. And then Krishna Jayanti, anyway, we have to fast till night, correct? Till midnight. So he said, we have to fast. Anyway, hunger and thirst, no need for cooking. So close the kitchen, he said. Please close the kitchen. Let us recite the Bhagavad Gita. And then he started around 7 o'clock. And then he recited the verses. And then he told us to recite the translation of all the 700 verses. It took us from 7 o'clock. And then some people didn't recite properly. He corrected them. The pronunciation is not correct. He corrected and he said, no, repeat again. Repeat again. So there was so many corrections. He finished at 3 o'clock. And at that time, the hunger and thirst was completely absent. He didn't feel the hunger and thirst because we are associated with the Mahabharata. He was completely absorbed. And therefore, it is possible in this Kali Yuga also. My own experience, I'm telling. After 3 o'clock, when we finish the program, then I feel hunger and thirst. Then that's why we have to engage our mind in Krishna consciousness. And that's why in Nirjala Ekadashi and all these days, we should engage ourselves in devotional service. Especially in Janmashtami, if we engage in various services, doing the various service, decoration, that, this and all we engage, then what happens? Our mind will not tell you. If you keep your mind idle, then automatically it will ask for hunger. So this is what we have done. Kathamrutam. So that's why it is Amrita. So that's why we have to understand this beauty of this. Now, Shravana Sputeshu Sampratam. Shravana Sputeshu Sampratam, it's very important for us to understand. Within the ear holes, fully filled. So it is very important for us. There is no way we can say that we can be satiated with hearing. Because Bhagavatam tells so many discordant notions, I am not satiated by hearing. I want to hear more Krishna Katha. And then what has happened, I will tell you beautiful. So what has happened in 9th canto, 24th chapter. So Sukadeva Goswami wanted to see whether Parikshit is really interested in Krishna Katha. So he asked, so this is Krishna appeared in the Moon dynasty, in the Chandra Vamsha, and he appeared there and he killed so many demons and he finished 924 something, End of the chapter. Moment he finished, he paused for a moment, Sukadeva Goswami. And then he saw what is the reaction from Parishit. Parishit Maharaj says immediately, I want to hear about Krishna. No, I want a full past tense. From the birth till he left the planet, I want a full past tense. And that's why Sukadeva Goswami became enthused. Yes, he says. And then he says, Nivritta Tashaya Rupagiyamana, Bhavat Aushada Srota Manopirama, Ka Uttama Shloka Gunan Vadatma Grajeta Vina Pashatna. He says that who will cease hearing such? Because Krishna, all the material hankering are completely liberated for this. Who will cease hearing from the glorification of the Lord? Please continue the topics of Krishna. I want detail. I want in detail how Krishna killed Kamsa, how he killed all the devils. I want all the details. I want all the pastimes of gopis. I want everything. Please don't give anything. I don't want his summary. 9th canto of Ramayana, 2 chapters he summarized. Whole Ramayana, 24,000 verses. He summarized with the 180, 90 verses only. 24,000 verses compressed into 2 chapters. But Krishna Kada, no, don't summarize. Ramayana, I will go and read separate. Ramayana book is there, I will read. But Krishna Kada, there is no separate book. Bhagavatam is important. So 90 chapters. So it is the only canto where we have 90 chapters. All others are limited. So it is the highest number of chapters in the Bhagavad, in the whole 12 cantos. So first he wants to hear about that hankering. And therefore he says ears is not enough. Shavana Puteshu Samritam. 9 chapters he heard. Are you satisfied? You should finish. No, I'm not satisfied. After Krishna Katha also he wants to know about 11th canto. Discussion between Uddhava and Krishna. He was eager to know. And then 12th canto, how the disappear, how the Kali Yuga forces will be. Everything he wants to know. So he wants to know up to current, and then he left the body. So if you hear anything about, because whatever we hear, we don't get tired. Suppose you drink, you get tired, because after 4 cups of juice, or you take something, you feel. But if you drink Krishna Katha, there is no time limit even here. That's why you can see all this now current, all the materialistic people, what they do. Evening 6:30, the Matajis, the ladies will start the serial. Till 11:30, they will not stop the serial. 5 hours they will be hearing Shravana Pateshu Sambhata. All nonsense. The mother-in-law will try to kill the daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law will kill the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law will kill the daughter-in-law. Mother-in-law will kill the son-in-law. Son-in-law will kill the mother-in-law. Father will kill the son. Son will kill the father. These are all the ways. They were all debating. The own father will kill the mother. The own mother will kill the father. All this. And then mother will have extra relationship. Father will have extra relationship. All this nonsense. 6:30 in the morning, evening to 11:30 in the evening. Shravana Puteshu Samritam. All nonsense is there. And it will completely pollute your consciousness. Please, Prabhuji's mothers, don't go to the TV. Don't go to this serials. This will kill your lifetime. Please, you are killing your own soul. If you want to watch serials, please, I fall at your feet and request you. I fall at the feet of all the devotees assembled here. Please don't watch hours together. Maybe if you want some change and all, okay, no problem. But don't make it as a habit to see for 4 hours, 6 hours and all. That's why this IPL is also there. IPL crazy people, they watch 4 hours continuous. Shravana Puteshu Samritam, all nonsense. And those people are getting money, you are not getting money. You are not, nothing is going into your pocket. Correct, you are wasting your time. So, Shinamayu, Shanai Chanai. Time is going on. Time is going, Kala Chepo and Kartabya. Don't waste your time. Because Shinamayu, our eyes is going. 60 years is gone for me. I cannot get it back. 60 years now. Shinamayu, Shanai Chanai. Vyamasya Kurunas. Yamaraja has no mercy. Kartavyam. You have to do Harikirtana. So that's why don't go to the street. Shravana Puteshu Samritam. So it is very important to hear. Shravana Puteshu means you can hear more. Don't say that I'm enough Bhagavatam. No enough. You can never get fed up. You can over endeavor in Bhagavatam, over endeavor in Bhagavad Gita, over endeavor in chanting, over endeavor in Chaitanya Charitam. There is no problem. Don't do over endeavor in material life. Don't do over endeavor in TV series. That will not give you any relief. But this gives you Tavakatamratam, Tapta Jivanam, Gavipiridam, Kalma Shapakam, Shavana Mangalam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So it is purifying the entire 3 world, broadcast all over the world. It has got with spiritual power. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is empowered. Radharani's power is Bhagavatam. So that's why it is, we cannot ignore Shravana Mangalam. It is very auspicious. By hearing, we become auspicious. Our body is getting purified. Our body is not material now. Now we are hearing Krishna Katha. Those who are hearing attentively and those who are speaking also, their bodies are not material. Their body is charged with Krishna Katha. Our body has become transcendental now. Okay. So this is how it is. It works like a magic, you know. You do the austerity, the hunger and thirst will not harass you. Because Krishna is so powerful. I'm telling you, Krishna is so powerful. So it is very important. Polluted by material contamination. So please don't get polluted. No, what has happened now? Because Ravana Puteshu Sambandha. You think anything else. Of course, you have to think about it. Once you come from office, moment you hear Krishna Katha, put your all the time put something in there. Because what has happened? All nonsense thoughts will come, office work. Office work, okay. Once you finish office work, please the duty. If you have anything to do in the night, do it, and then go it back to Krishna Katha. Hearing Krishna Katha. So many lectures are so many sannyasis, so many devotees in ISKCON is giving lectures. Please hear the lectures. And here also every day they are recording the lectures. You can hear it again and again. Because you will never get bored. Because the hearing Krishna Katha, you will charge you with Krishna Katha. Because it will give you new realization. It will never be faded. You know, you will get fed up. No fed up with Bhagavatam. You can be fed up with everything. Don't get fed up with Bhagavatam. So, and then one Shravana Puteshu. Prabhupada used the word oral reception. So, we want, Shravana Puteshu Samrutam. So, we have to fill up the ears. And how much you fill up, there is not enough. Correct? Because you can hear 24 hours Krishna Katha. There is no problem. 24 hours Kirtan. And that's why ISKCON is advocating 24 hours Kirtan. That's why every day Mangalarati, we have Kirtan. We have the Mangalarati chanting the holy names in the morning. It's the most auspicious thing. So we hear in the morning, all the time we have to hear Krishna Katha. There is no time, don't give any time for your mind to think. Its idle mind is a workshop, devil's workshop. It will kill you. It will give you negative thoughts. It will frustrate you. Krishna consciousness is the only thing which can give you liberation, which can give you, completely free from all the material anxieties. Prabhupada Maharaj, I beg you, please hear Krishna Katha. Shravana Puteshu. Sambritam. Sambritam means fill it up. All with Krishna Katha. Lot of Krishna Katha. No nonsense Katha. No Grama Katha. Grama Katha we don't want to hear. And also, when you go to the program, when you go to associate with the devotees also, we have to be very careful. Because everyone tells, Prabhuji, mera problem aisa problem hua, aisa problem ho gaya, mera problem aisa ho gaya, IT tax man. We don't want to hear all these stories. Maybe we dispassionately hear. But our objective is to hear Krishna Katha. Or otherwise, they will do Putinati. They will say, Prabhuji, aisa kar raha hai, ye Mataji aisa kar raha hai, ye Babuji aisa kar raha hai. Then they will find fault. What happens? It spoils our consciousness. So, we find fault. Oh, this devotee is like this. Devotees, we brand devotees. We don't have to brand because Krishna, it is one Krishna and that devotee. Who are we to judge? He's a good devotee, pseudo devotee, it doesn't matter. Why you are judging? So don't judge. Because he may become pure. Just like what has happened, Surichi Mata considers as Dhruva as an insignificant person. Dhruva became a pure Vaishnava. And therefore the offense, Krishna did not leave it. And then she has to suffer. Her son was killed by Yaksha. And not only that, and she has to suffer in a forest fire, die in a forest fire. So unholy death. Not an auspicious death. She has to suffer the Putra Shoka. To lose her son in front of her. It's the most Putra Shoka. It's the worst suffering. Nobody should suffer. Even today, my father and mother are suffering. They are not able to come over it. My mother is okay, a little okay. My father is not able to come over it. It's very difficult, Putra Shoka. Putra Shoka is one of the worst karmas we have ever done to suffer Putra Shoka. Nobody should suffer in this world. I prayed all people. Nobody should suffer Putra Shoka. Putra Shoka is very difficult. Chitraketu, the past time we know how much Chitraketu suffered in such kind of. So it is very important. So we have to hear Krishna Katha as much as possible. Don't say that we will stop with Krishna. No, don't get fed up. And therefore, don't hear any nonsense from devotees and get polluted. Putinati and all this finding faults and all. We come to the association, hear Krishna Katha, here take prasadam and go away. Go with a good mood. Don't need too much close, intimacy. Adiparichya avajna. Too much familiarity will become contempt. And then one will find another fault and it will be a problem for us. Too much intimacy should not be there. Aprasangataha, Bhagavatam tells, no? Aprasangata means too much association should not be there. Too much intimacy should not be there. Little intimacy, even among the devotees, it's very important. Because I know the weakness of you, know the weakness of me. My wife knows the weakness of me, and I know her weakness. And both of us will find fault. And therefore, it's very difficult. Husband and wife, we cannot separate it, but other devotees, we can have the separation. So it is very important. So, Savana Puteshu. Now, Prabhupada used the word oral reception. This is very beautiful, and our Kalchakar Guru, one of our godbrothers, has done a wonderful analysis of this. I may not be able to explain as it is, but I will give a few points. Savana Puteshu, oral reception. So, what do you do in a reception? Any reception, wedding reception, what you will do? Anybody can tell what you will do? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can you repeat the question?
In any wedding reception or in office reception, what they will do? In office, reception is there, receptionist is there. What they will do? What is the role?
Reception is to receive all the people coming, and
how to receive? How to receive?
They will greet the visitors, and they will help them to contact the person they need to meet.
And what will happen in a wedding reception?
Wedding reception will welcome all the guests and
Yes.
offer them good food.
Correct. Yes. So, how much respect we give to the people who are coming. So that's why Prabhupada used the word oral reception in the translation. That means we have to give respect and we have to smile when we hear Krishna Katha. Don't think moroseness we should go to Krishna Katha. And Krishna, that means you are not interested in hearing him. So, and that will not change your consciousness. And that will not change your polluted. Vishaya Vidusha Ashayam. That's the next thing will not happen. So, Sravana Puteshu means oral reception means we have to receive with full attention. Just like the guests are received in the reception, in the office or in the marriage reception, how they are received with warm welcome and then given them food prasadam. The same way, when we receive Krishna Katha, we have to wait with full attention. We have to give full attention. Oral reception means our mind should be fully absorbed in Krishna Katha. 1 hour when you are hearing the class, don't think about anything else. Just hear what the person is saying. And that is very, 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 very important. I don't know how to emphasize on this. I don't know how more to emphasize on this. Because the more we hear Krishna Katha with attention, rapt attention, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Bhagavatam tells, first canto, 5th chapter, then automatically what happens? It clears all our contamination. Polluted aim of Krishna consciousness, polluted aim of material life is completely Vishaya Vidhuti Ashaya. Vishaya means in senses. Vidushita, which is Kalmisha. Ashayam is completely removed. Vidushita means completely destroys all the polluted aim of life. So this is very important. Shravana Padeshu Sampratam, oral reception. How to receive is very important. How to receive also, there's one more point Kalchakar told, that what we do in normal parlance, we hear from this, we hear and we don't register in the brain and it doesn't go into the heart. What happens is it goes in the one ear and comes out of the ear. No, that is not the way of oral reception. Oral reception means it goes into the ear and there is a T junction. You know T? T, capital letter T. What happens? It goes in this ear or this ear, straight it goes into the heart and changes our consciousness. It's called a T junction. So, oral reception when we receive, just like, we have to tune, correct? For example, if you want to take it to the FM tune, then we go to the particular 109 or 106 or 108 to the FM to hear. Hello FM, we want to hear, we go to that particular reception. And the same way, we have to tune your mind to hear Krishna Katha with full attention, with rapt attention, at least for 45 minutes. Please don't get diverted. This time is for Krishna. By chanting the holy name, this time is for Krishna. This time is not for anybody else. Let the mind be completely blanked out. Just hear the Krishna's names. Just hear Krishna Katha. Nothing else should be there. We should pray to Krishna. It's not so easy, Prabhuji, to have the oral reception wonderfully, but it is the mercy of Krishna. We have to pray to Krishna before going to the program. Let me have the oral reception with full attention. Let me have the oral reception with full attention while chanting the holy names. Oral reception is also including the chanting. While chanting, we have to hear the Hare Krishna mantra. 99% of the time, we are thinking about all the material problems. What to do today, what to do in office, what to do this with these children, what to do with this, we are thinking about. Because chanting is the best time to remember not to give oral reception. We don't give oral reception to Krishna at all. This is our nature. Because we give reception to everything else. Please, my humble request, please always give oral reception with attention, when chanting the holy names, while this bit is it. And that's why Srotabhyaha, Kirtidabhyaha, Smartabhyaha. And then it is Puteshu Sampratam. Savana Puteshu Sampratam. Sampratam means what? Fully fill up. So if you fully fill up, then attention span will increase. Then you will understand the value of Krishna. Kalmasha. Oh, what you are thinking now? Prabhuji said Katamrutam. It is Amrita, it is nectar. Why? Because nectar. Immediately you go to the verse. After the class is over, you don't simply go and do whatever you want. No, I'll go to the verse. He says that this is nectar. Why it is nectar? Katamrutam, Tava Katamrutam, Tapta Jivanam, Krishna Tapta Jivanam, Kavipirididam, Kalmashabam. So, Tavakatam, Tapta Jivanam. It removes all the material sufferings of the living entities. This Kata Amrita Krishna consciousness is can remove Nama Sangeetanam is a Sarva Papa Pranashanam. Pranamo Dukram Tam Namami Hari Pravi. It can take you back to Krishna. It can give you a nectar. Nectar means eternal life. So it is so powerful. So, wonderful, Prabhuji. Shantini Mataji, very good. Our mind should be like a sponge with hearing and absorbing. Yes, wonderful example, Mataji. Thank you very much. Should be a sponge while hearing Krishna. You should absorb it. And you should create it in our head and put it into our heart. Sravana Pateshu, Sampratam. So, oral reception should be like oral reception. This has to be there. So, Vipantiye, you have to drink. Bhagavata Atmanastham, it is approved by, and it is a Katamurdam. Why it is Katamurdam? Why it is Katamurdam? Because Tapta Jivanam, it removes all the Tapta, suffering material conditions. And then not only that, Kalma Shapam, it destroys the sinful reaction of the living entities. Not only the Kavipiridam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it can broadcast all over the world because it has got spiritual. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam means it has got spiritual power. Bhagavatam has got the potency. And therefore, Shavana Mangalam, it is very auspicious. So, every time I hear Krishna Katha, all these three things are happening. Sinful reaction is going on, my material misery is coming down, and also I am getting the spiritual power. See? And then therefore it has become auspicious. And therefore it is nectar. So every time we have to remember this. Shamana Putesh, oral reception. Oral reception means contemplate on this. T junction is very important now. You have to go and change your consciousness. And then what happens? Shamana Putesh is Samrutam. Ye Pipantiye Bhagavata Atmanashatam. Katamrutam. Shamana Putesh is Samrutam. If you do it, then if you do these first two things, and Krishna will reciprocate. So now the Krishna's job. First two is your job. Okay, that's what I discussed in fully. Our job is to hear Bhagavatam, drink Bhagavatam. Shravana Puteshu Sampadam. And Katamurdam. It's an Amritam. Why it is Amritam? Also we do. So we have to hear Bhagavatam with full attention, full devotion, oral reception. Everything has to be done very nicely. So that is our request, our effort. And then comes the next line. Punantite Vishevaduti Ashayam Punantite. So Krishna's duty is to purify our consciousness. What is the consciousness is purifying? Vishaya Vidutita Ashayam. Ashaya means so many material life, material desires are. Vishaya means sense gratification. You want to enjoy the material. Vidushita means completely destroy the polluted aim of life. And Prabhupada, Jiva Goswami says, by hearing Krishna Katha, Sampratam, hearing and contemplating on it. Because the main thing, Prabhuji Mataji, is once you hear the Krishna Katha and then go back, no, contemplate on this. Why we have to hear Krishna Katha? Prabhuji, every day the speaker is telling, no, some message is important. Not all messages you will be able to assimilate, but some message you should think about it and meditate and contemplate. And this contemplation is Krishna consciousness. And this contemplation is Smarana. And this contemplation will help us to apply this principle in the life. You understand? Unless we contemplate on what we hear, then there is no Tatshunman, Supatan, Vicharana. Tatshunman we are hearing. Supatan, study deeply, means contemplate. And then Vicharana, contemplate. So I have to contemplate on it. So this is the potency of the Bhagavatam. How can I ignore Bhagavatam? Every time I go for something else, I think, no, Shravana Puteshu Sampratam. I have to fill up with Krishna Katha. Whatever minimum material Katha I have to do, I have to do. That is for the office purpose and for the house purpose. I have to cook, I have to do this. These are all material duties. I will do it. And that also I am not doing as a material duty, I am doing it as an offering to Krishna. Office work also offering to Krishna. So that Padma Patari Vampasa, Brahmanya Adaya Karmani, Sangam Tattva Karodi, Lipatena Papaina, do the office work perfectly and satisfy your boss. I think boss is just Krishna. And once you finish, then you are free to engage in Shravana Putesh Sampratam. Once you come back home, you have to chant the holy names and hear Krishna Katha. Shravana Putesh Sampratam. So this is very important. Shravana Putesh. Here, it is very important. No? Uh, Giving ourselves is very important. We have to give ourselves to the Krishna Katha. Just like a pregnant woman, she does so much of austerity. Mataji, so many Matajis are there. They know how much austerity they do. You know, in the last 10 months, it's full of sacrifice. And also after the child is born, also full of sacrifice. There is no night sleep. They give full attention. Same attention we have to give to Krishna. Same attention we have to give to Krishna. Then what will happen? Then the polluted aim of life will go. Then our material desires will subside. It is not going to decrease. It's not going to close, but it will subside. Our expectations will be reduced. We know that, no. So previously we want to have 100 crores, 200 crores, 300 crores. Now it will be reduced. Minimum to sustain in our life. Simple living and hygiene. I want a simple place to stay. Then I have to have my daily bread. Simple living. I don't want to live a luxury living. I don't have a Lamborghini car to live. No, that is not Krishna conscious. We don't want that. I want a Mercedes-Benz. I want a BMW. No, if you do that, then Vishaya Bindusha Ashaya. You will pollute the aim of life, and for that you have to work very hard. Your consciousness will be affected, and then next Janma will transfer to very other form. I got my friend, he introduced me someone for one client. He says that he's got 100 crores turnover, and he says I have not paid salaries to my staff, and he says I'm really disturbed. He said, well, you have got 100 crores. Why don't you just? Because he is greedy for more money. So the greedy for more money. I want to buy a Lamborghini. I have to become like this. I have to become like the chief minister. I have to become like this. Why we should do that? No, I'm kidding. Slowly, whatever is there, Krishna has given, we should get it. So material people are not interested in it. So please, Prabhujis and Matajis, we have Vishaya Vidusha Ashaya. Vidushita will happen. Shravana Puteshu Sampratam. Hear Krishna Katha, oral reception with full attention. That is very important. Just like the pregnant woman attends only to the child. Just like a businessman who is only worried about his money all the time. The same way we have to engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness all the time. And this is what the Bhagavatam does. And this is the instruction. Sorry, Prabhuji, this is a very strong verse. I have to talk strongly. Please forgive me for that. I cannot speak because the previous verse says Kartabhya, Smartabhya, Kirtidabhya. It is telling instruction. You must. And how to do it is mentioned in this verse. So unless you do it, then we cannot get out of the polluted aim. Purify polluted aim. Here, then automatically we get. Means basically lording over. We don't want to lord over anything. We become a servant of Krishna. This is very important. Prabhupada writes, by sufficient hearing of Śrīmad. That means we have to hear Bhagavatam lot. Every day, don't miss this Bhagavatam. Polluted away, they are lording over it subside. How you will have subside? Because you will understand Krishna is supreme. I am just insignificant. I am here temporarily in this world. I am a servant of Krishna. I am a soul. The soul needs to be fed with Krishna Katha. And that is the main thing I have to do. So, and I have to do a normal living for my body's existence. I will do the minimum existence. And then I will dedicate my life to Krishna. And that's how so many sannyas. Bhakti Sadhu Swami Maharaj left the body. Jayananda Swami, Jayananda Maharaj was doing Ratha. So much dedication. Kamala Krishna Goswami Maharaj. All many sannyasis are there. Dedicate the life. Shravana Puteshu Sampratam. And they were all enjoying with Prabhupada. We don't want to go and enjoy with Prabhupada Kirtan. Such an enjoy, then there is no birth, death, old age, disease, hunger, thirst, Dehandriya, Prana, Manodya, Janma, Pya, Bhayat, Samsara. There is no Samsara Dharma in the spiritual world. And that's what is going to happen. So the polluted aim of life is completely removed, polluted. There's no noise. So you see, hundreds of thousands people dying every day, and then no fresh air. All over the country, air is polluted. Noise pollution. Everything is polluted. As soon as our thoughts are polluted. So our thoughts are polluted, then we are polluted. The moment we get out of the program, the thoughts are polluted. So in order to purify this consciousness, we should always think and contemplate. The whole day, Maharaj was traveling from Bombay to Abu Dhabi to Bombay. And then he took one verse. He was meditating on devotee. My grandmother, he told me, same verse, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. He didn't sleep. It was night. He was concentrating on the bus. Then he came back. And then the Prabhuji woke up in the morning. He slept. Prabhuji asked Maharaj, Maharaj, you are in the same bus. Yes, Maharaj. Yes, I'm contemplating how to apply this bus. Unless we apply, the polluted aim will not come down. So it's very important for this. The polluted aim, because our polluted aim means we have got so many objectives. Yes, of course, we have to have material objectives. We have to see the education for the children. Everything has to be done. We have to do the best to the child. No doubt about it. Please don't stop all those things. I'm not saying completely stop all this only Krishna. No, I'm not saying like that. We have to do our material focus nicely. Let them study and all, everything should be done. But simultaneously on one track, you should go on increasing your quality of your devotion service. Therefore, you purify our consciousness. So you should do the service to the children as a detached and then do our consciousness. And that's very, very important. If you don't do it, if you don't spend time, quality time for Krishna, at least whatever hearing Krishna Katha, we hear it with attention. Now what we do hearing Krishna Katha and chant also. Please, because that means you are not giving justice. You are not attending the holy names, you are not attending Krishna. So this is also because we want to finish chanting during this. Please take extra time, wake up early in the morning. And these are all austerities we have to do. So if you want to really go back to Krishna, if you are really interested in removing the polluted aim of life, if you are really interested in Shravana Putesha Sambradam, hear Krishna Katha and purify your existence, and it has to become auspicious, then we have to do austerities. Austerities has to be done. Mataji is there, I think she is there in the book. She wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning. She writes Prabhupada's Leelamrita, Prabhupada's story and all, and then she has written the summary of Bhagavatam, and then she attends classes also, all the classes, and then she takes care of her husband, and she doesn't sleep, very little sleep. So dedicates the whole day. She is retired from Abu Dhabi and she is doing a wonderful service. I'm telling you, her devotion is confirmed that she is going back to Krishna. She is spending so much time on Krishna after retirement. You see, because she has invested in her time, because Shravana Putesha Sambhava. She has put her effort. Shravana Putesha was attentively hearing. And that's why her retirement has become wonderful. She is blissful. She is happy. She is transcribing in Granth. She is writing so many letters, writing in WhatsApp also messages. She is writing summary of the Bhagavatam with important verses. So many things she is doing. She is completely engaged. And she is doing Mangalarati in the morning. She is chanting also. She in the chanting session also. She is there. So many services. And then taking care of her husband also. So retired life should be spent like that. Because her consciousness for the last 10 years was wonderful. So it has helped her to. And Krishna has arranged. Materially, Krishna has arranged nicely. So that's why we have to do this. If you do attentive hearing of Krishna, if you are serious about love for Krishna, that's what is an attraction for Krishna. Then automatically Krishna will arrange everything for you. All the material things will be arranged. Krishna will arrange everything for you. I'm telling you, everything will be arranged. Dhruva Maharaj was everything was arranged. He did the tapas for 6 months. Krishna gave the darshan and he wanted to rule the entire planet. He said, you rule the entire planet, even the circle of for 36,000 years. He says, I want to come to Krishna. I don't want any moon. No. You desire. You have decided now. You are pure devotee. You decide. I have to satisfy. Krishna says, I cannot. Your devotional service should not go in vain. People should not say that I am not satisfied. You want to live for 36,000 years? I live for 36,000 years. He says, no, I want to leave the body now. No, you cannot leave the body. You should rule the kingdom and enjoy. Even Prahlad Maharaj also, he told, please enjoy. You be absorbed in Krishna consciousness and enjoy the kingdom to the minimum extent and do it. So this is how these people are given the benediction. So that's why we have to spend our quality time in Krishna and we have to be Vishnu Mataha. And we have to Shravana Putesha Sambhava, fully fill up the ears. And we have to do it attention. Reception, oral reception is very important. That's why Prabhupada used every word with so much of attention. That's what we are doing. Therefore, and Prabhupada, last and final, we finish. Prabhupada writes, wants it very sternly in the purport, very nicely. We have to remember this statement. And we're practicing Bhakti Yoga. If the performer is not purified from the material contamination, he must be a pseudo devotee. Prabhupada writes in the purport. For such an impostor, there is no remedy for being freed from material contamination. So over here, Prabhupada writes, So, Bhagavatam Katam Savana Pradesh Sampratam, Udantite Vishuddha Vishuddha Ashayam, Vajantite means you will go back. Satcharana, yeah, the lotus feet of the Lord. Sarorantikam, it is the lotus feet of the Lord, you will go back to Krishna. And then we enjoy. But if you go, and then Prabhupada wants us, very stern, very strong statement he puts it. What is that? He says that if practicing the performer is not purified, if you are not purified of the material contamination, then we are pseudo devotee means you are not sincere. You are a pretentious devotee. Please don't be pretentious in devotion. I'm suffering because of that. Don't be, I'm a pretentious devotee. So don't be pretentious. If you are pretentious, you will suffer. Okay? So try to be sincere, even 1%. For them, there is no remedy for being free from it. Very strong statement he has given. That means our polluted aim of life, Vishaya Vidusha Adisham will not happen. And if it doesn't happen, Punantite means our polluted aim of life will not be purified. Therefore, what will happen? We will continue this material. Polluted aim will continue. Our aim should be Krishna. Our whole objective is Krishna consciousness. The whole objective should be Krishna consciousness. Therefore, it's very important. We have to serve the devotees as Krishna, and that's all. Every transaction in life is pleasing Krishna. Doesn't, and also we have to remember one thing in devotion. We should not hanker for glorification. Hanker for glorification, that means you are not sincere. You don't expect, I make a prasadam and my husband has to say, nice prasadam. Don't expect it. You just do it nicely for the sake of Krishna and David, and don't expect this. If you hanker for glorification of your prasadam, if you hanker for glorification of your speech, if you hanker for glorification for your people, if you are hanker for a glorification of Harikanam people, then your pollution aim of life continues. And then you are still a pseudo devotee. You are not a pure devotee. This verse is very strong. I have to talk very strongly. Please forgive me for this. Because Prabhupada wants us, don't be a pseudo devotee, become a devotee. But there is one encouraging statement. Prabhuji, we are talking so much. Prabhupada used the word devotee. So, as long as you are a devotee, we are all pseudo devotees now. Let us become pure devotees. So, pure devotee means that Krishna's protection is there. Okay? Krishna will protect us, but it will take long time. Okay? So, we don't want a long time. We want to go back to Krishna quickly. So, devotee means, because Prabhupada used the word devotee, that means a saving grace for us. Saving grace is in the sense that we will suffer in this material world, but eventually we'll go back to Krishna. So, that will take a long time. So, we have a 20-story building. We want to climb the steps, or we want to go to the escalator. Choice is yours. Choice, you want to go to escalator, or you want to go to the steps. Steps means pseudo. Good devotee, reasonable, struggling devotee, then step stairs. Right? Struggling also is okay. We are all struggling in the devotion service. So don't be an imposter. And that's what it's not good for us in the devotion. So be honest. Honesty is very important. Accept that. I accept that. I don't have any love for Krishna. I don't have love for Bhagavatam. I'm doing because somebody is going to appreciate me. It's not good. I'm anchoring for that. Still, in my conscience it is there. I cannot say I'm a pure. No, it's a long way to go. So polluted aim is there. So that's why we should not become a pseudo devotee. We should become a good devotee, struggling devotee. Struggling to become a devotee is very good. But however, devotee means what Prabhupada says. That means at least you are chanting devotees. So that's why Krishna will say us. But it will take a long time. So the choice is ours. Whether we have to take steps or we have to take the escalator. Choice is yours. So that is very important. Bhagavatam 2.2.37 approved by devotees. Kathamatam. You know why it is Kathamatam? Because it is Kalmashapakam, Tapta Jivanam. It removes all the sufferings, and also Kalmashapakam. It has removed sinful reaction. Dundukari past that we saw. It removes the sinful reaction. And not only that, Shravana Mangalam, hearing is auspicious, it purifies our consciousness. And then not only that, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is spiritual cover, and it can be broadcast all over the world. That's it. Shravana Puteshu, whatever we hear, which is the oral reception, should be with full attention. We should go into our heart and change our consciousness. Then what happens? Krishna responds by Vishaya Vidush Punantite. You will purify our polluted aim of life, and then Rajanti, you will go back to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hello, friends. Oh, Sayantini Prabhu, very nice. You should like a sponge, we should absorb that. Yes, that is very good. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Sorry for taking extra time. One Prabhu, we'll close. Any questions are there?
Hare Krishna. Any devotee has any question, so you can unmute your mic or you can type in the comment box. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Prabhuji, for a nice class. Prabhuji, actually post pandemic, people are back to office, so they start leaving as soon as it's 8:40 or more time. So that's what.
Okay, no problem. I will finish as quick as possible. Or maybe you can give me some more because I prepare in such a way that I want to deliver. As if I always deliver as if I don't live tomorrow. Before I leave the body, I want to reach at home. Because that is the only thing Krishna has given me. So other devotional service I'm not able to. Chanting I cannot do. I cannot do this devotion. I don't have any capacity. So this one little minute Krishna has given. So before I die, I want to teach. So that's how I preach like that. Sorry, please. Yes, I will try to control myself.
Prabhuji, question on the Diksha part. Like few devotees from our congregation, they have done ISKCON disciple course.
Okay, very good.
Next, they need the list of ISKCON, initiating gurus who can initiate us.
Yes. You can go to any guru, no problem. Whoever is inspiring you. See, in the heart, the living entity has to get attracted towards that guru, and that should be our aim, no? Because that is very much required. Because in the heart, suppose I saw my Maharaj, I got attracted towards.
Yes.
So we have to have some attraction towards that guru, and that is very important. Okay, otherwise, I choose the guru based on this. No, you associate with him, you have some relationship, establish some relationship with him. Once you establish the relationship with him, then you gain some association and get some spiritual knowledge from him, and then there is a transportation of knowledge, spiritual knowledge from him to him. And then once the transfer of spiritual knowledge, then you create an attraction towards it. You establish a connection, then you do it.
Yeah. So my question is another.
Just like nowadays marriage, how they do? They see the Jataka, no? That horoscope, Kundali say. After Kundali, then they chat with each other. They have to understand what is their move, Once they understand each other, then only. In those days, they were marriage different method. But current method is very good. What they do, they establish some relationship. And then they do it. So that is the best process. We should not tell now you should take this guru, that guru. They should be inspired from within. Oh, this is my guru, I want to take shelter. And they should associate and you should hear the Krishna Kada from that pure devotees. Bhagopala Krishna Maharaj, Jai Prakash Swami Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. There are so many sannyasis are there. Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, so many sannyasis. Whichever Maharaj, they have to hear all the Krishna Kada. And then they should take. Not that, no, it is not like, it is not a competitive exam. You just take one paper and think, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. No, this is a transcendental, eternal relationship. And this has to be established with a firm foundation. And there should be a spiritual master and disciple relationship should be established. Once the relationship is established, then automatically the love for each other will go up. And the spiritual master is also concerned about the disciple. The disciple is also concerned about the spiritual master. In fact, you won't believe it. I got concerned when my son was studying 10th. His handwriting was not good. I was worried what will happen to 10th exam. So I called my Maharaj and told Maharaj I am worried about his handwriting. And don't worry, I will pray for him. And you won't believe it. Maharaj called every day after the exam is over. The exams were kept every 4 days. When is the exam? Next exam, you will ask. Maharaj, it is on Sunday. Okay. It is on Friday. Okay. Friday evening, you will call. He will give a missed call. He will not call because he doesn't want to spend money. He will say that I should spend money because I am the disciple. So I call him and ask Maharaj, he has done the exam very well. All the 5 exams he wrote. And Maharaj called me and asked me, who will do that? My father also did not do. My father didn't do. My dear father did not do. My father-in-law did not do. This Maharaj did it because I told him. So establish a relationship with him. It is very important. Please allow everyone to have their loving relationship with this person. That is very important. Establish some connection. 1 or 2 years. Not necessary, I take the disciple course. I take tomorrow initiation. And then afterwards, I don't know about Maharaj. And then you do aparad. And somebody says that Maharaj is done like this. Maharaj, then I heard, oh, I've taken wrong Maharaj. And all these things, if you go into the mind, then you will destroy your spiritual life. You will offend your spiritual master, then you can never go back to Krishna. So that's why we should not do in a hurry. Let us take our own time. Don't jump into it. Okay, this Prabhuji says we should take. No, not like that. Every Maharaj is good, unique. You have to interact with him, go and establish a relationship with him. Please establish through email or whatever the correspondence through their assistants, because Maharaj will be busy. Through their assistants, we have to go and contact, write letters. That's what the Prabhupada disciples all wrote letters to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada personally answered. And all sannyasis will answer. No sannyasi will keep quiet. Like Bharuswami Maharaj, for marriage, Kadakam matching, Bharuswami Maharaj from Chennai, he does a lot of horoscope matching because he's a very good astrologer. So I sent him, immediately he replies back. He says that yes, matching, not matching, how much percentage, everything he tells. They will respond. All sannyasis, they are very busy, but they will respond to the emails. So sannyasis will definitely respond. Yapatak Swami is the Maharaj, maybe you have to go to the assistant because he is physically not well to answer all this. Otherwise, he was also answering. So you can go on up any sannyasi. Establish some relation. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, doesn't matter. But slowly we can take the initiation. Initiation is not, not that you should be forced. You should be voluntary. When our Maharaj was there, we took initiation because of the age factor. Because my Maharaj was 90. All the sannyasis are 70s, 80s. So, because they lived a very good life. They lived austere life for Prabhupada. So they will live for 80, 90. I wish they live for 120 years to give initiation to everybody. Now, even Yapatak Swami, with all the, he has got intestine problem, he has got liver problem, lung problem, all the changes also he is doing wonderful. Well, unbelievable. He's been told not to leave India because of the health condition. But he moved to America. He preached there, and he was preaching there also. So he's giving initiation to so many people. People are attracted by him because of his purity. Okay. People should get attracted towards purity and glories of the Maharaj and hear about their katha, hear about their. That's how we should do it. Don't, it is not that, no. Okay. It's not like ration card or something like going to cinema theater, go and get the ticket. This film is good. Somebody told me, I'll go and check the film. No, it's not like that. Kashmir Files is very good. Okay, go and see. There is one more film, RRR. No? That is a film in Telugu. It is very good. Please go and see. Not like that. We should use our intelligence and we should establish some relationship. That is very important. Okay. We'll stop here. Any questions? Anybody wants to speak anything?
So Prabhuji, there is a lot of, there is a list of gurus and that is not updated, in the website. So, how to seek the gurus and how to listen to their class and, then
list of
establish
gurus, if it is not in the website, you can approach somebody. You are in Delhi, no? You can approach this Dwarka temple, Isman Dwarka in Delhi, and request this Amogalila Prabhu. He has got all the connections. He can give the list. He can give the list of devotees, and you can hear the lectures. You can put on YouTube all the lectures of devotees in there. And you can write to Bhakti Swami. Suppose if you want to hear Bhakti Swami lectures, you can write to him and he can give you access. You can write to the Maharaj itself, because I want to hear your lectures. That's all. Not for initiation purpose, that I want to hear your lectures. You can send a message to them. So we can send a message to those sannyasis, and then we can hear the lectures. So many lectures are there in YouTube also. All sannyasis now, everything is in YouTube. YouTube is the ocean now. There is an ocean of Shravana lecturers, Shravana Kirtana we can do. So many sannyasis, so many devotees are there. So many disciples of so many sannyasis are speaking wonderfully. Chaitanya Chara Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu. Oh, so many expert speakers are there. Shubha Vilas Prabhu, Amogalila Prabhu, Gopala Krishna Maharaj said, oh, Bhakti Janathan Maharaj. So many are there. Bhakti Vijnana Maharaj. So many. Bhakti Vijnana Maharaj. So many. That Maharaj is exemplary. Bhakti Vijnana. Suppose if you pay obeisances, the disciple pay obeisances, you will pay obeisances to the disciple. That's how Maharaj responds. Oh, that Maharaj is exemplary Maharaj. I want to have his darshan again. I had a lot of darshan in Abu Dhabi. He used to come. He personally used to ask me, how is your son? What is he doing? Everything he used to ask me. So personally, he will ask whether he has passed the exam, he's doing MS, where is he working? Is he doing devotion service? He's chanting nicely. Everything he will ask. Spiritual material, everything he will ask. And I am not his disciple also. But he will ask so many questions to me. Huh? And if my wife doesn't come, why your Mataji has not come today? He will ask. Mother, I said she's not well. Okay, no problem. I'll miss her, he will say. Oh, personal, Maharaj. So many sannyasis are there. We have to interact with them. That's very important. It is not the list alone. You can have contact, because I'm not very good at that. So, because I am not very good in interacting with all the people. You can contact Amog Leela Prabhu. He's best Dwaraka. He's the best person to give us direction. He can give the list of sannyasis, whom you want to ask there. And then you can do. Ages for whom, Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhuji, what did you say?
This initiation for whom we are talking.
Actually, Prabhuji, few devotees from our group, they have done IDC, and I have also done. So
Okay.
yeah, yesterday I chatted with our Atul Prabhuji. So he said that you should listen to a lot of lectures from different gurus, and then you should decide which one you need to seek initiation with, and then approach them.
Correct. Yes. So we can write to them also. We can write to them to hear the lectures and associate with them also. Right? Associate. Hear the lectures. Yes, that is very important. You can associate with them, nothing like that. Really, I am so fortunate to associate with Maharaj. Maharaj came 10 times to Abu Dhabi. I didn't ask for it. He came on his own. So we are very fortunate. We are very, very fortunate. I don't know. And he will come, definitely will come. Because if you are sincerely hanging for a guru, Krishna will send. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhaya Lakti Rata Bija. It has to happen. It will happen. 100% it will happen. Guru will come. Don't worry. But it's a question of time, but we have to be patient. Don't worry. You hear all the Krishna Katha, all the, which one is inspiring you? That's what it is. What is that, right? And also see how the Guru's disciples are doing very well. That will also be inspiring. In fact, if our Maharaj has not come, I was more inclined to have Radhanath San Maharaj this night. If my Maharaj has not come to Abu Dhabi, I would have asked for Radhanath Maharaj. So many sannyasis are there. Gopala Krishna Maharaj, such a very pure devotee. Loknath San Maharaj, pure devotee. Vedabhasa Priya Maharaj, very simple person. He did initiation in Abu Dhabi. Very knowledgeable, very senior sannyasi.
Yeah, Ved Maharaj comes here also in Delhi.
Yeah, Vedavyas. He's a very nice, wonderful. He's a Gujarati. No? He's a Gujarati.
Yes. He's a two-time PhD also. Twice he did PhD.
Yes, he's a born devotee. Very love, intense love for Krishna. And it's all so pure. In fact, one devotee took initiation from him. From Abu Dhabi. Actually, he's from Madras. He knows only Tamil. And this Maharaj knows English and Hindi, but they have got a relationship. And he got so much of affection towards Maharaj. Maharaj loves him. In fact, he gives a lot of instruction in English. And he doesn't know English. So my wife translates in Tamil and sends it to him every day. Because he speaks so wonderful. Daily quotes he makes. Very beautiful sentence. Wonderful sentence. Adhanath Maharaj. Bhakti Vinamana Maharaj. Maharaj. Jayadvaita Maharaj. Jayadvaita Maharaj doesn't give initiation much. Swami also doesn't give initiation. So many sannyasis there. Let them choose. Let the Karambakana Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj. So many are there. P.B. Govinda Maharaj. so excellent in reaching Kirtan movement. So many people in Dubai took initiation from him. So many are there. So you can go on searching and hearing the Kirtans and the Kathas and all, and you get inspired from within. And if you can interact with them and then discuss with him about it, and then we can start. Then take this. Don't be in a haste, because it should be very pure. Because it's a very important decision. It's like choosing a wife, like that more important than choosing a wife. You know? Because it's a connection, eternal, lifelong connection, Janma connection. You have to choose the right spiritual. Krishna will arrange everything. As long as you have the desire, Krishna will arrange everything next. Don't worry about it. Okay?
Okay.
We'll stop here because I have to go somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. So we'll offer Vaishnava Pranam and conclude the session. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful session. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्ण. All glories to
Krishna
somebody.
Prabhuji, Mother, thank you very much. Please pray, all of you, please pray for me that I should do nice devotion service. Instead of becoming a pseudo devotee, I should become a devotee. Please pray for me. Hare Krishna.
Same here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sorry for
Hare
any
Krishna,
offenses.
Maharaj.
Dandavat Pranam.